Hey, what up?
Wait a minute.
Are you urinating while you're
taking a leak?
Is he really?
Are
you really taking a leak?
Unprofessional. Yeah, what else could that have been?
How is he taking a leak on Skype? He's on the mic. What are you? Are you on the headphones?
Hello?
Yeah. Hey.
Washing his hands. See?
Always peculiar. There's always just something weird thing going on with him.
That sounded like hand sanitizer.
No, I was getting my dog's water bowl together.
It
sounded like you were urinating.
That's what everybody does when we Skype them in, right? You know?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't expect you yet.
Yeah.
What time? What are we expecting? It's 3 o'clock. He said, right?
I don't know.
Clues, photos, evidence.
Documents.
Let me get my headphones on.
You have any clues?
Documents, photos, clues, evidence, if you will.
All right, let's start here. Now, I got to ask you a question. Okay,
listen. My headphones on.
Jesus Christ!
Shut up.
Let me just.
I'm having a flashback to when we got on.
My computer wouldn't start, and then the dog needed feeding, and then I got distracted and lost track of time. And now my headphones are all knotted up.
I'm having deja vu.
I got to ask you a question. Okay,
are we on the air?
Yes, we are. All right.
Am I on Konnan Express with his sidekick and Dum Dum Disco the Inferno?
Yes.
I'm the sidekick and Disco's the Dum Dum. That's awesome.
Here's my question to you, and you can beep this out if you want to, because if we're trying to work this or
Can I beat it off?
No. Well, there you go. Okay. First of all, I had no.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I had no idea. You know what's funny?
Yes.
Somebody.
You stole that because I use a slide whistle, so you've taken over the kazoo business.
I'm gonna segue two funny stories together.
Okay, one second before you continue. Do you have your slide whistle with you?
It's in the other room. I can get it if you want. We can have a duel.
Not really a duel, but yeah, go get it.
Just to have it be present.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we get Kevin Gill to rap for us, since he's a known rapper?
Well, hey, I'm not the one who recorded
him without kazoo.
I'm not the one who recorded a rap record at Violent J's home studio like Raven did.
I did do that.
All right. So a friend of mine, I'm in a chat.
Before Disco, I'm going to keep cutting Disco off because it's fun. But I want to put over, man, you guys have like major, serious, kick-ass ratings. Like, you get serious downloads. I'm amazed. I'm not amazed. I mean, you deserve it because, Konnan, you're amazing. But it's still, man, you're doing great.
Bro, we're just here trying to entertain, just like you are, man. What? Let me ask you real quick. Is Chad Damiani on your show? Is that
your time out? Let me ask you. I got to ask a question that's bigger than this.
All right.
So Raven, how's the weather in Atlanta today?
No, let me just.
Oh man, you know what? I was in Indianapolis yesterday, and it was like 70 degrees.
Here, nobody gives a rat's ass.
How weird is that? 70 degrees in August.
Wow, what a round number.
Okay. So like I'm in a chat with some high school friends of mine, and my friend.
Okay, what are you doing in a chat room with high school kids? And why do you have high school friends?
Because of high school. But my high school friend asked me that he thought this.
Oh, they're not in high school anymore. They were in high school with you.
This will be more entertaining to let me get in, then he can interrupt me afterwards. But if I get to the gist of this, but he thought that this joke was hysterical. Hey, what's the difference between an elephant and a rhino? Hell if I know. And he thought that was hilarious. I was like, Tom, that was the Unknown comic used to use that like 30 years ago. That's like one of the oldest jokes in the book. So I was trying to find the Unknown comic. Bro, I had no clue when you do your intro at the beginning of the show. I had completely forgotten that Chuck Barris used to refer to the Unknown comic
as the Wizard of
Whoopi. Yes. I was like, what? So it was like, so ironic, like I went that. But bro, let me ask you a question. I know you're a big Busby Berkeley. That's you love that name. But why are you not allowing Chad Damiani to be himself on that show?
He is. He's totally himself.
I just use Chad Damiani. The word is never said on that show. Why would he not?
Well, it was originally. I mean, I've called him Chad on it, but no, it's just my nickname I've had for him for a million years because it's such a long story, so I'm not going to tell it now. But anyway, long story short is he tried to pick up like a stripper and used the Busby Berkeley reference like Busby Berkeley was like a 1930s movie director who directed musicals. Like like to use him like a 20-year-old stripper, like it's the most obscure reference you could make, and I'm like, that's just absurd. So that's why I nicknamed him that, and then that's what I call him. I mean, he doesn't care. If he cared, I'd call him Chad.
This is how dumb I was. So when you were calling him Busby Berkeley, I was like, why is he calling Chad Busby Berkeley? I Googled Busby Berkeley, and like this 30s, like Busby Berkeley comes up on Google and go, where the frick does Raven get this Busby Berkeley from? But Mark Madden told me that you had always used the Busby Berkeley reference even 20 years ago in WCW. Is that accurate?
Yes, because he tried to pick up a girl. It's like a 20-year-old stripper. Because we were so messed up from ecstasy or something that he used a Busby, and I just like, really, a Busby Berkeley reference.
That's
great.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Now, Konnan,
Can you throw the slide whistle for that?
Konnan, after hearing this, do you think we would have been better off if Raven kept interrupting Disco instead of hearing that story?
No, it's all good, bro. Go ahead.
So, is there some kind of like lackey feud between Disco and Kevin Gill?
What do you mean by lackey? What do you mean by lackey?
Whoa.
Well, I don't know. Should I look the word up? Funky sidekick. See, like Chad Busby, he's an equal with me. We're equals on the show. But obviously, Konnan here rules the roost. It's the Konnan show. It's not the Disco Inferno sidekick show or the Kevin Gill happy hour.
Wait a second. I don't consider myself a sidekick on the show at all.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
The listeners do.
Well, no. See, this is one of those misinformation campaigns where you're trying to sway you're trying to drive a narrative that does not exist.
Kind of like what they do with me.
Yeah. No, we don't do that. You
do it to yourself.
You dig your own hole, Kevin, every single week.
What did you say? He beats his own hole?
Digs his own hole. Okay?
Oh. I was going to say, that's
but I don't
consider
consider the dynamic here as kind of like a lackey situation on my end. Kevin, though, that's another story.
Look, Konnan, do you have to like play principal to these unruly students of yours?
No, bro. This shows it's great because we all fight each other, we all bear each other, and it continues on Twitter, and it's never stops. Even on group text we're bearing each other. It just fuels the fire for what we do. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta say, man, I am so. This is gonna sound, you're not used to me complimenting to you, but I'm so impressed with what you've done, man. You went from having to get a kidney, you almost dying to getting a kidney, and then getting a kidney, having a kidney transplant, and then from there, and now you got your own wrestling promotion. You got the podcast, which has like Jericho level listeners, or almost Adam Carolla level listeners. I mean, I'm really impressed. I mean, I got to tell you that.
No, thanks, bro. And we're just we're doing the same thing you're trying to do, and everybody else is just entertain people, and that's why we got you on here, because we think you're one of the most entertaining guys ever in the business, and I'm glad you got your own forum to show your own craziness, because you, me, Disco, Jericho, as a lot of people know, and for those that didn't, we used to hang out in WCW together, and Chad Damiani and Jeremy Borash and then Mark Madden, and all we did was try to make each other laugh and give each other hot news and talk shit about each other and bury each other 24/7.
Yeah. I think that's the one thing that, I still can't let go of burying Disco, but other than that, I try not to bury people anymore. Like, I've tried to mature slightly, but since I was so immature to begin with, I haven't reached very far.
Yeah. No, I'm a troll all the time. Anytime somebody says something stupid, I just nail them because I love to get them pissed off. And just like D.I., he's at the best. You can tell him anything. It's very hard to get him mad. So, and he'll troll the shit out of you too. You know what I'm saying?
Who's that?
D.I. Disco.
Oh, I always think of him as GG.
Yeah.
GG.
Well, they call me Double G at work. Raven, let me ask you a question.
Where's this workplace of yours?
You know where I work, Sapphire.
And what's Sapphire?
It's the world's largest gentleman's club. It's in Las Vegas, Nevada, and if you call the number, Disco will buy you a drink, shake your hand, and send a limo to pick you up.
Absolutely. I give you like $80 worth of stuff. As opposed to like Kevin. Let me ask you a question. Do you like Raven? I don't see you're not too much on Twitter, are you?
You know what? I never wanted to get on social media, and because I just thought it was a pain in the ass. And so when I actually was somewhat famous, I never did it. So then now that I'm completely unfamous, now I'm trying to get Twitter listeners, because obviously that's what leads to having the more social media pays off in the podcast world. So my social media numbers are short, if not bereft, of any number of their numbers. They're probably the lowest numbers of anybody who was ever once a celebrity has. They're that bad. And
but that's only because you weren't engaging with your fans before. Now you are, and they're starting to find out, and they'll find out little by little, and you'll build a fan base from the podcast and your interaction. Correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, and this is a question that I get a lot, and I'm going to ask you this on the air. Okay. What is Raven? People ask me this all the time. What is Raven doing these days? And I always answer, I say, well, he's got a better podcast. I go, what else does he do? And I always say, I don't know. Could you, for this show, will you walk us through a day in the life of Raven right now?
And before you walk us through, I have one question. I want to know, what is the exact color palette of your hair nowadays? Because I've seen it everything from Donald Trump, like, orange
Yellow
style, yellow, right, to something that would be between, and work with me on this one, between beige, a platinum, and a silver, and maybe a white, to I don't know what you got going on. What color?
I got it's salt and pepper it's salt and pepper, and there's still the bleach blonde that still is growing out. I haven't got around to bleaching it recently, so it's it's salt and pepper and blonde.
Would you tweet a picture of it?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
And I would like to see what it looks like.
And just to clarify,
It's
Raven's
not that
kind of
fascinating. Trust me.
Raven's kind of downplaying his popularity on social media. Like on Twitter, for example, he has 6 times as many followers as Disco Inferno, and he's verified.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have 60,000 followers. Disco only has 10,000. That's ridiculous.
You're like 13.
How do you have
That's
so
weird,
little?
because
You've
you have.
always
No,
played-
I don't. Because I'm not
You're on there.
but I'm not like hashtagging other things to try. Like, here was the funniest thing. I was a lurker on Twitter, and I never followed. All I did was follow like fantasy football
Hey,
stuff.
wait,
And
is it true you're also a lurker?
that's a cheap
100%
shot.
true.
That's very disrespectful.
At the guy's
That's fake
gymnasium.
news. That's fake news. That's fake news.
And the
Okay,
transgender bathroom, too.
Like, remember the little hole they had in the movie Porky's?
Mm-hmm.
Straight
No.
to the guy's gym.
Let me tell you how this whole thing started on Twitter. So Kidman like outed me or something, like tweeted something
You're
about
gay?
me. Hey, no, not out. Like outed me on.
How did he
Oh,
out
okay.
you?
No, I wasn't outing I was kind of like just a spy on Twitter. I would just lurk. I wouldn't post. I would just like follow. So
He was like a voyeur.
yeah, I guess so. Like they say, just a Twitter
So
lurk.
wait, why were you lurking, and why was it any big deal that you were outed, so to speak?
Because when I got outed, now I kind of like had to kind of like engage, and like Kidman was telling me like the way he was getting like Twitter followers, like he was like saying it's like if you watch Raw, you gotta like you can tweet something, but you gotta do like hashtag Raw, hashtag like everything. And what happens is people see that and then they tweet you. I don't do that. I don't like connect. Like if I'm talking about something, I don't do like a lot of hashtagging to try to connect people to try to come in, like to try to gain followers. That's because that's how social networking works. Is you get people to come to your thing, and if they they want to follow you or not. But like I don't.
Thank you, Professor Gilbernetti.
Okay.
And also, Raven, you should note that I think part of Disco, although his numbers have been rising on social media without a doubt, I think that part of his issue is he used to be Glenn Gilberti on Twitter, and then he changed his name to The Real Disco, and then someone else took over the Glenn Gilberti account.
Nah.
So he's kind of splitting his fan base.
He's a geek.